Great communicators don't talk, they connect. Les Brown. Picture yourself standing before your team, an investor pitch or a room of potential clients. In that moment, you're not broadcasting. You're listening, inviting your audience into a shared space. Or the investor who closed her biggest deal by first understanding her partner's deepest values. Your narrative isn't about you, it's about them. It is the bridge you build together. You sense their unease, the challenges they carry. You feel their pulse. You've invited them in and they're leaning forward. People speak up, share ideas, surface problems earlier. You realize that connection births collaboration. Your investors respond with deeper questions, not canned reassurances. They seek your partnership in co-creating growth. You've transcended monologue and created dialogue, inspiring trust, opening doors. You identify 3 core elements that breed connection: curiosity, candor, and compassion. Your first instinct is to craft a polished apology email. Instead, you pick up the phone. You call the client's CEO directly. Clients describe you as approachable, thoughtful, genuinely invested in their success. You journal about moments when your connection approach soared and moments when you slipped back into lecture mode. You host workshops on empathetic communication, teaching your team how to listen before they speak, how to ask questions that uncover real needs, and how to share honestly about both victories and setbacks. You kick off the announcement not with bullet points, but with a live event that spotlights customer stories, real voices sharing how your solutions transformed their work and lives. You host breakout rooms, where attendees ask questions and shape the narrative steering future offerings. But even more powerful is the intangible shift. You've become a communicator who doesn't just talk, but connects. You prove that the power of your words isn't in their volume, but in their ability to bridge hearts and minds. You've built relationships that weather storms, partnerships that innovate, and a culture that thrives on empathy. Sales soar not because you pitched harder, but because you connected deeper. Your culture evolves. Meetings start with empathy check-ins, brainstorming sessions open with user story sharing, and project kickoffs begin with alignment on shared values. Next year, you might expand into new markets, mentor rising leaders, or launch an initiative that redefines your industry's standards for human connection. Whatever lies ahead, remember Les Brown's simple yet profound insight. Great communicators don't just talk, they connect. And when you connect, you transform not only your business, but every life you touch. You recommit to your 3 pillars: curiosity, candor, compassion. You refine your signature opening question for pitches, tweaking it to elicit deeper insights. You develop a connection checklist to run through before every presentation. Your network grows organically, referrals from colleagues who appreciate your human-first style. You begin, "I'm sorry, I've come to understand the full impact this issue has had on your operations, and I want to fix it, together." You outline your corrective plan and invite their input. Their gratitude isn't just for the fix, but for your willingness to connect face-to-face when stakes were high. Curiosity to ask open questions, candor to speak honestly about risks and opportunities, and compassion to honor the human behind the title. And from that shared starting point, you speak words that matter. It's your biggest platform yet, and you're tempted to craft a flashy presentation. Instead, you choose connection. You open with an audience poll. What is the one thing you wish your customers felt about your brand? You let them respond in real time. You weave their answers into your talk, matching each segment of your message to the live data you've gathered. The crowd feels seen, heard, and involved. You leave them not with a monologue, but with a shared vision. Instead of delivering a list of demands, you begin by exploring their constraints. Help me understand the pressures on your end. Your marketing moves from monologue to conversation. Instead of pushy ads, you create forums, live Q&A sessions, customer story videos, interactive webinars. You invite your audience to co-write your next product roadmap, to share their pain points in real time. They respond with genuine enthusiasm, helping you refine features before you invest in development. What challenges is your factory facing this quarter? You listen, truly listen, to their story of rising raw material prices and labor shortages. Then, you propose a joint solution, shifting toward a longer-term contract at a modest premium, giving them predictability while lowering your costs over time. You leave the call not with an ultimatum, but with a partnership mindset and a contract signed. The spotlight is on you, but instead of launching into data points or bullet point slides, you lean in. Before every conversation, internal meeting, sales call, investor update, you pause for 30 seconds. You center yourself. Recall the person across from you is more than a prospect. You ask internally, what matters to them? You jot a single note, their goal, their fear, their metric that defines success. Then you begin the dialogue by referencing that note. You breathe, you meet eyes. You start not with your agenda, but with a question. What keeps you up at night? We transform transactions into relationships. You illustrate the point with a fresh story of your own. The time you landed a major client not by listing features, but by inviting them to co-create the solution. You describe how in a single conversation, you sketched ideas on a whiteboard, each idea sprouting from questions you'd asked. What would make your team's life easier? What keeps your customers returning? As you continue, you notice something remarkable. Shoulders relax, eyes brighten, minds awaken. In the next breath, you offer insight shaped by empathy. When we connect before we talk, we tap into shared dreams. By week's end, you adopt a simple daily ritual. In your first month, you witness transformation. Your team meetings become energized forums, not status updates. By month 2, you've mapped your communication style. You test these elements in a challenging scenario, a tough negotiation with a supplier whose costs you need to lower. As spring turns to summer, you expand this approach externally. In month 4, you face a communication crisis, a product glitch that affects a key client. By month 6, your reputation has shifted. You are no longer known as the entrepreneur who delivers a pitch deck. You are the leader who builds bridges. Mid-year, you pause for reflection, a full day away from screens and schedules. In month 8, you scale this practice across your organization. When autumn arrives, you launch your newest service line. As the year draws to a close, you confront one final test, a public keynote invitation at an industry conference. On the last day of this transformative year, you look back at metrics, sales growth, customer retention, team engagement, and you smile. Your journey illustrates a fundamental truth. When you connect before you communicate, you unlock creativity, loyalty, and resilience. Imagine what awaits when you carry this practice forward.